Hey everyone, welcome back to the RPGames YouTube channel. My name is Ralph. Drezen is ours. In the previous episode we took a look around, checked out the city, talked to Greybor about hunting some dragon, and now we're in the Citadel. And what I think is going to happen is the kingdom mechanics from similar to the Pathfinder Kingmaker game will come into play. So I'm guessing we're going to get access to that, and I'm quite excited to see. Quite excited to be able to start building, and I think it's gonna be a challenge now because we're gonna have to juggle a whole bunch of responsibilities. We're gonna have to steer the party in a certain way. We're gonna have to keep the armies busy fighting all the demon armies that still surround us. And then we're going to also have to take a look at the whole kingdom management or the Crusade management aspect of the game. So I think that's quite a lot. Let's see how Calder can handle all of this. Middle-aged paladin with a genial face salutes you. His sparse grey hair stands in a fuzzy tufts on his head, giving him a distinctly unwarlike appearance. Everbright Crusaders reporting for duty. My name is C.R. Kobelan. I'm at your service. Good. I have boots to polish. Queen Gulfrey is gathering the main attack forces on Erosian. She ordered us to replenish the losses suffered in Canabras and come here. We will support your troops. And shine my boots. A tall, dark-eyed lad is standing behind CR. He passionately echoes CR's words. We're ready to go to the front immediately. Allow us to be at the spear of the attack. Wow, he's ready to get into some action. The old crusader calls the young man to order. Morvek, don't speak unless spoken to. Don't worry, no one will be defeating any demons without you. Sierra smiles kindly and tussles the boy's hair. Who have you brought with you? Everbright Crusaders mainly, but we have a lot of volunteers who joined us. Those who arrived at the Queen's call, but didn't want to sit in Erosian waiting for the main army to set off. All the hotheads know that the front is here. Seer nods at the boy behind him, the one who's eager to fight. We picked up this one too. He walked to Canabras with an old sword in his hand and a few copper coins in his pocket. He was going to keep walking to kill the demons. Then he would probably have laid siege to Threshold, no doubt. The boy's cheeks go pink at the old man's gentle mockery, but he continues to stare ahead resolutely and boldly. Did you fight in Canabras? How are things there? Not personally, no. The Queen summoned me and the bulk of our orders to Erosian. Almost all those who remained behind in Canabras died. The ones that didn't were disorganized and leaderless. But the order did not perish. New volunteers have been pouring into our ranks. We're licking our wounds. Canabras is rebuilding. Life wins out. People are coming from all over Aviston to help. Many are joining up with the Crusaders, just as it happened back in the First Crusade. You will be serving under my command, of course. It's an honor for us, Commander. Let's give the demons a dustin'. Okay, so here we have the Manage Crusade Affairs button. We have Anevia, we have Irabeth, and we have Regill with us. I'm gonna speak to Irabeth first, because I think there is two quests that involve her. One is her sword, which I found, and the other one is her, I don't know, lapse in motivation at a certain point in the story. Irabeth's eyes are vacant, her thoughts are clearly somewhere far away. Seeing you though, she snaps to attention. Hail, Commander. Let's give her back the sword. I found your father's sword. Please take it. Praise Iomade. Irabeth takes the sword as gently as if it were a living creature and sheaths it in the scabbard. I don't know what to say. I'm forever indebted to you. Never thought I'd get my swords back. Well, I since the Crusaders didn't shine my boots, you know. I don't know if she got the hint. Oh wow. Please allow me to reward you, and please no objections. I could never replace the sword. I shall never part with it again, I swear. Did she just casually hand me like 50,000 gold pieces? Like seriously? Irabeth, I think your salary is a bit on the high side here. What? There's 50,000 gold pieces, Goldar. Have fun with them. Don't blow them all on gambling. Oh my goodness. Okay. How's the Eagle Watch doing in Canabras? Everything is going well. I was wary of handing over the reins at first. I was afraid that everything would fall apart without Anevia and me. But I took a risk and left a very clever lad in charge. A tiefling, as it happens. He infiltrated the cult alone. Couldn't imagine a tiefling wouldn't be on their side. He exposed an entire cell. I personally knighted him just before the city was attacked. Of course, there were many who weren't happy about it, but it's not my job to make people happy. He hasn't disappointed. He has built up the Order's ranks again, is running everything so smoothly. It's as if the demon attack never happened. He's proven more than once that I left Canabras in good hands, but I admit it's still strange to think that such a small order as the Eagle Watch now has 2 chapters. One in Drezen, and one in Canabras. Alright, Irabeth, let's get to it. What happened during the attack on Drezen? Yes, I was shamefully faint-hearted. Praise Iomade! It didn't affect the course of the battle. Still, my behavior was unworthy of a knight, even less a commander. Under the circumstances, leaving my position would be tantamount to desertion. Still, as your advisor, I strongly recommend you release me from my position as head of the Order, strip me of my knighthood, and send me to serve in the Condemned. Wow. Overly dramatic, this Irabeth. Okay, what can we do? We can intimidate her. Let's see. Oh, we have 25. All of them will work. Okay, no problem. We can do diplomacy or intimidate, and there is an option for good, since, since that's my alignment, I might as well just take that one. Few deserve these titles more than you. Don't blame yourself. Under the circumstances, you did everything possible, and more besides. Thank you, Commander. The gratitude in Irabeth's voice is sincere. A spark of enthusiasm appears in her eyes, which had grown dull over recent weeks. You do a good action and then you get 13 experience points. I mean, come on, I just convinced the commander of the Eagle Watch to cheer up. Certainly is worth more than 13 experience points, in my opinion. Anyway, oh, maybe she hands me more coins. Do you have more in the bank, Irabeth? The half-orc salutes you sharply. For a moment you once again see the Irabeth who was ready to protect the defender's heart to her dying breath. Thank you for still trusting me, more than anyone else in this crusade, even more than I trust myself. Despite your words, Irabeth obviously still feels unworthy of her commander's rank. Changing her mind will require more than platitudes. Perhaps you can bolster her by appointing her to a position where she can work more closely with rank-and-file soldiers, those whose faith in their commander remains undimmed. Issue an order that will allow Irabeth to spend more time... Okay, so I'm yeah, so this is Crusade Management mechanics, so we'll take a look at that in a second. Let's see if we can get something from Anivia and Rachel. Look who it is, hi! Did you find out anything about where Minago is now? Nope, zero, zilch. Whole lot of nothing. The scum melted into thin air. Soldiers saw her jump out the window, run through the square in front of the citadel, suddenly disappear. We haven't heard anything from her since, and I don't like it. Telling you, this is bad. First of all, her kind don't just give up. If we can't see her, means she's setting up a trap. Somewhere we won't expect it. I mean, it would be great if the Demon Lords just gobbled her up for all her failures, but I think that's too much to hope for. That's not the worst part. We have more interesting question, you know. I wonder how she teleported from the city if by that time you'd already hung the banner. The soldiers are saying it probably wasn't in full force by then, but you and I both know that's dross. She wasn't supposed to be able to teleport, but she did. Question is, how? Here we go again. What do you think about my new powers? Don't take this the wrong way, I'm not brown-nosing here, but you are the commander the Crusade needed. Righteous, good, and with justice in their heart. Sometimes you look up at these high and mighty true believers and their perfectness makes you want to throw up. I don't get that from you. Jump into the jaws of a demon for you. Well, thanks, Anivia. Have you figured out how the demons have been sneaking up on us? That's another quest out of the way. No dice. Our scouts crawled all over the area. Down every hole, nothing. The grey road was completely empty and then bam! Whole army popped up like Jack in the Box. My only lead is a few scouts that didn't come back from the gorges to the southwest. But we found no sign of secret paths or underground passageways. Definitely no route we can use to quietly move a large forest through. But I feel it in my gut. There's some evil scum out there. I just have to look harder. Of course I could send out more scouts, but they might just disappear like the first ones. Why don't you go there yourself and find out what's what? Are you giving me orders, Anivia? Wow. You know, I'd like to give that red Nura a good shake. How long was she serving the demons, I wonder? I bet a good silver if I turned her upside down and shook her as hard as I could. Something interesting would fall out, not just lice. Okay, so interrogate Nura. Oh, we have to do that. I thought she was gonna do that. I have to do everything myself, again? Regill stands with his hands behind his back, his favorite pose it would seem. He seems submerged in thought, gathers himself immediately as you approach. His pale yellow eyes examine you inquisitively. Knight Commander, it's good you found the time to meet me. There's a matter of some urgency I must discuss with you. It was incredibly interesting the power you and your companions received during the fight at the Grey Garrison. Now my interest has been gratified. The power your companions received has passed on to me as well. It manifested after my usual evening reckoning. I believe I now present a true threat to the creatures and initiates of chaos. The imprisoned cultist we kept for certain observation experienced it firsthand. Striking, isn't it? Divine intervention in the critical moment is rare, but not beyond imagining. But in this case, part of the power you received through this intervention has passed to someone who joined you well after the fateful moment had passed. I believe this power has been given to me and others for a good cause, to protect this miserable world from the demons. I'm afraid that your definition of a good cause might be very different than your companions, Commander. In any case, this is shallow philosophizing. You must have some questions for me? Haven't we spoken to him yet? Do you have a plan or a strategy for the war against the demons? Yes, let me hear you out. I have a clear idea of the forces I shall require to wage effective war against the World Wound. Currently I do not possess them, but I know what steps I must take. We must amass and fortify, gather scouting information, resolve certain problems of an organizational nature. My people are establishing an outpost not far from the ruins of an ancient shrine. Demons appear there often, so we'll be tracking them for information, honing our skills in combat. This is my strategy for the moment. Can you tell me about the Hell Knights? Could tell you a great deal. However, the Order's recruiters would be a better source of information on such matters. What do you value most? The law and only the law. Who do the Hell Knights answer to? Only to the heads of their orders. In my case, it's Lictor Resark Auntor, head of the Order of the Godclaw. As a rule, the Hell Knights do not submit to the jurisdiction of any state. The same is true of local laws. We are happy to help local governments bring order, if we consider their request lawful, and if those who ask are worthy. We do not serve them. We have every right to refuse their demands. If you care so much about the law, how can you ignore the authority of the lawful rulers in the lands where you operate? We cannot call it law just because some foolish local prince thought it up. or a council of demented elders deems it wise, now can we? You see, one of the main principles of our brotherhood is that no one is immune from persecution. A lawful ruler may be a criminal that poses a threat to society. We must be able to punish them as well. This is why Hell Knights only honor the measure and the chain, the doctrine shared by all our orders. And why Hell Knights serve only the officers, the aim of transforming this chaos-torn world, leading it into a brilliant and ordered future. We're the main bastion of order in Galarian, no matter how much naysayers try to refute it. How are new order members recruited? We accept as armigers any we find worthy, but for the main test, the one that separates the strong from the weak, they must face down a devil summoned directly from hell. If they defeat the beast honestly, the armigers become a rightful Hell Knight. If they lose, we simply forget their existence, like the world made an unfortunate mistake. Okay. How about I ask you something about yourself, Regill? You have openly shown your distrust of the Crusader Command. Why have you decided to join me? Do not misread my behavior of distrust of you personally. Like every Hell Knight, I watch everyone closely, searching for signs of weakness and sin. Everyone, including myself. Indeed, Regill the Range is first on my list of suspects. I observe him daily, marking every fault, every hesitation, every weakness, and I prepare the proper punishments. So it has been, and will be. As for your second question, I suppose we may be useful to each other. You and your army are a new power in the Crusade. I rate all the old powers as quite ineffective. I have yet to rate your own efforts, but early indications are positive. That means you may count on my help. For now, I like the way you think, strict on yourself and rational towards others. This only confirms my initial assessment. I'm glad to hear it, Commander. Regill bends a little in a polite half-bow. Forgive me for asking a personal question, but your hair is going grey and your skin is rather pale. It's the bleaching, right? Of course it's the bleaching. Are you doing anything to fight the bleaching? What do other races do to fight an old age? I know what made you ask this question. My kin have earned a certain reputation for the vain attempts to stave off the inevitable. Luckily for the rest of the world, not all gnomes are prepared to spread chaos with their reckless escapades. There are some among us who accept the natural order of things. The bleaching has no effect on my ability to carry out my duties, therefore it has no personal meaning to me. You have any family or friends? I've never wondered at the fate of the former and never had interest in the latter. If you'll allow me one piece of advice, Commander, never put too much stock in so-called friendship or camaraderie. Any bonds based on simple affection are temporary and unreliable. Half of your smiling companions certainly consider you their friend for the present. They will break and betray the moment you do anything that troubles their happy expectations. Place greater value on respect, based on rational evaluation of your companion's merits. I deeply respected my mentor, who trained me to join the ranks of the Hell Knights. I respected her so much that I killed her with my own hands, when I discovered that she'd betrayed me, and was intending to leave our ranks. It would have been more proper to inform the command and await the formal trial, but on the other hand, that would have injured the morale of our young recruits. They should not see manifestation of weakness in our seasoned knights. So what brought you to Mendev? The demonic threat, of course, and the glaring inefficiency of the local command. I do not know if you are aware of this, but the Hell Knights owe the existence of the Demon Lords to a certain extent. Our first order appeared in response to Sivkesh's cultists in Kaliax. Chaos they wrecked could not fail to breed strict opposition. Those first knights were able to burn out the pestilence and crush the cult once and for all. I see no reason for the Hell Knights of today not to do the same to the tentacles of the world wound. Without question, the task is far more difficult than anything we've encountered before, but it must be done to preserve world order. All the more so, given that Queen Galfrey and her commanders are apparent not up to the task. The motives you list sound rather impersonal. Don't you have any other reason for joining the Crusade? The personality is a fine quality for a Hell Knight. For the rest of the world as well. Personal motives, strong emotions, they are weaknesses that our enemies will use against you. I'm an effective officer with years of service. The demonic invasion of Galarian obviously demands the most qualified response. That's why I'm here. Simple. So you're skeptical about my future wife, Queen Galfrey. If my memory doesn't fail me, the current crusade is called the Fifth. The Fifth Crusade, and with all of the support the Church of Iomedae and multiple other allies provided to Galfrey, no progress has been made in resolving the crisis at the World Wound. The best they could manage was create a chain of ward stones, and even they turned out to be inadequate. Suppose that should be reason enough for my skepticism. Alright. So, let's, unless we wanna, does anyone wanna speak to the guard? We could do that too, but otherwise, let's check out Crusade Affairs. Okay, so there is a whole bunch of events and decrees. So this is very similar to the Pathfinder Kingmaker game where you did Kingdom Management. Now that you have captured Drezen, new options for the Crusade have become available to you. You can now construct buildings and forts in Drezen, issue decrees, and capture and investigate new regions. Both mercenary and trainable units will appear at the commander's headquarters in Drezen. The demon armies will try to take Drezen from you. Destroy them, or else after 7 days of siege, Drezen will be completely blockaded by enemy forces, and you will no longer be able to command the Crusade. To access the Crusade Management menu, click the button in the bottom right corner of the screen on the global map. How does that siege stuff work, I wonder? Developing each of the Crusade stats opens up new options that empower your armies and economy. Military focuses on drilling and training units. Recruit both trainable and mercenary units to improve the rank of your military stat. Okay, so we have rank 1 in military at this moment. Logistics focuses on economy and construction. Construct buildings to improve the rank of your logistics stat. Okay, that makes sense. Diplomacy focuses on establishing contacts with mercenaries and foreign nations. Enhance the significance of the Crusade by earning resources of all types to improve the rank of your diplomacy stat. Alright. And then leadership focuses on morale and army generals. Win battles and level up your generals to improve the rank of your leadership stat. Okay, so the leadership stat does not require too much extra things to rank up, I guess. Since that's just battling with my armies, which I've done extensively in previous episodes. Diplomacy, this is something that does require extra activity, I would say. Logistics, so that is something new. We can construct buildings, and I'm guessing we're going to need resources for that, which you can see here, like the energy points, the material points, and the finance points. I'm guessing these three will become crucial in our logistics area. And then military focuses on drilling and training recruits. So recruiting units is also something that I've been doing throughout most of the game, so that's nothing new either. Your military campaign will require 3 types of resources: finance points, material points, and energy points. Finance points are used for all of the Crusade's various needs, but first and foremost they are needed to recruit units. Material points are used primarily for building construction. Energy points are used for the recruitment of mythic units and the completion of certain decrees. Oh, okay. You gain new resources each day. Prevailing over demon armies in battle and constructing certain buildings increases the income of resources. You can also purchase the required resources with gold. Alright, that much is clear. So we can see that our leadership is ready to rank up. Oh, all of them are actually. Yeah, all of them are. Okay, great. We're getting 600 finance points per day, 16 material points per day, and 2 energy points per day. Yeah, so that would be great if we could boost like material points and energy points. I need to look into ways to boost these numbers, because I'm guessing we're gonna burn through these quite easily, especially if like energy points are being used on events. I'm guessing there's gonna be a lot of events. That being said, let's take a look at some of the decrees and events. So we have the end of the world. Priests of various faiths are asking the commander to banish the followers of a small sect that believes in the imminent demise of Galarian. These doomsayers scorn the gods with their words and demand that everyone bow down before the inevitable end. And let's see. Okay, so this is a little bit different from the Pathfinder Kingmaker game in the sense that I can make a decision here and then I can start the event. I'm guessing it takes some time then. And with the Pathfinder Kingmaker game, you could start an event and then at the end of the time period it required, there would be a roll. And then you would either succeed or not succeed. So I'm guessing here you will always succeed. So what we can do is send the sectarians on suicide missions. That seems rather harsh, but it gives us 600 military experience. We can silence the sectarians. That gives us 4,000 leadership. We can permit the sectarians to preach. That reduces Crusader morale by 30. That's not something we're gonna do. And we can reconcile the sectarians with other priests. That is a good option. And Crusader morale increases by 15. Energy points income increases by 3 for 30 days. So that would give us, what, 90 energy points? I am actually of the opinion that we should silence the sectarians. Let's see what that does. Subverting discipline is prohibited. The officers silenced the sectarians with cruel punishments, and the latter were forced to admit that in the army the commander decides where and when the world is going to end. Yeah, sounds about right. Okay, so right, so that doesn't even take any days, apparently. Part of the fortress wall sustained damage in a demon attack on Drezen. A number of buried golems covered in dwarven runes were discovered among the collapsed stones. Upon hearing this news, a member of a dwarven clan has contacted the commander and has claimed that the golems belong to them. What should be done with the golems? Oh, look at that. We even have an option here that is specific to a party member. Oh, that is interesting. That is very interesting. Okay. So we can give the golems to the dwarves. That gives us 40 material points. That is the lawful option. We can keep the golems inside the walls. That is 300 military experience. And we can extract the golems and use them in battle. That unlocks the Warden Golem's Decree. What does that do? 3 Earth Elementals are recruited at the commander's headquarters. So we could put Earth Elementals, I guess, into the army. I'm not quite sure how strong that would be. But it does kind of make sense to use them. Like, sure, you know, I would love to keep my dwarven friends, but I'm sure the dwarves could agree that these golems should be used in the army or in the crusade. So that's what we're gonna do. The commander's soldiers will dismantle the stonework and extract the golems, and experienced mages will bring them to life. Great! That we have taken care of, so we have rank up. How long does that take? Okay, that only takes 1 day to solve. And this is logistics, okay? The success of military action depends on a regular supply of everything troops need and the judicious distribution of resources. The Logistic Council, made up of experienced officers, will ensure there is no chaos in the army while the commander's attention is focused on the front line. Let us issue that decree. Forming a staff council. One can command a small unit alone, but to manage an army one needs a staff council. Surrounded by experienced advisors, the commander will be able to make decisions affecting the life and morals of the entire army. Yep, we're gonna do that too. The Crusade depends on the support of Nerosian and foreign countries. The Diplomatic Council will see to it that no political problems interfere with the regular inflow of gold and recruits in Drezen. Can we just continue to click on these? The Council of Officers seasoned in the art of war will help the commander to implement new tactics and diversify his army's ranks with more skilled units. Great. So we have 4 decrees going, which there is 1 day needed for them. We have... Oh, okay, that's how it works. So another decree is being enacted for this stat. So that means that we can have 1 of each of the 4 sectors, basically. We can have 1 decree for each of the 4. Leadership and logistics and military and so on. So 1 decree of everything at the same time. Let's see. Upgrading an outpost to a bastion, the commander will expand its territory for buildings as well as allow the construction of advanced structures there. 1/4 of the outpost level will, with at least 3 out of the 4 construction slots filled, can be upgraded to a bastion level. Let's see. Can we see that? So Drezen has footmen and archers. That's what we can build, or that is what is already there? Oh yeah, those are already here apparently. So there is a number of buildings here. Let's see. We have a supply center. The advance of the Crusade deeper into enemy territory lengthens supply routes and complicates logistics. The supply center is a citadel of scribes, clerics and coachmen whose job it is to see that the advancing armies faces no shortages. A supply center increases material points income by 3. Only 1 supply center can be built in each fort. Okay, so supply centers is something that I would like to build everywhere, since it increases our material points. Then we have an arsenal. A skilled master craftsman can make sturdy armor that not even demon blades can pierce. An arsenal provides +1 bonus to armor class for all trainable units in adjacent buildings. Only 1 arsenal can be built for each fort except Drezen. So trainable units would be what exactly? These? The main archery range allows recruitment and provides weekly recruitment growth for archers, rangers, bandits, marksmen, slingers and headhunters. Let me take a quick look at these. So archers we already know. We have a whole bunch of them in our army. That is damage 6 to 11. We have some rangers in our army. They do more damage. They have more hit points as well. They have a higher armor. Yeah, rangers are definitely better. Then there is bandits who do even more damage. 24 to 29. Wow. They do have less hit points though. We have marksmen, that's even more damage, but very low hit points. And then there is slingers and headhunters, 25 to 30. Okay, so bandits don't seem too bad, to be honest. In a lawful good army. What else do we got? We got a smithy. The armor that will see the Crusades to victory is crafted here. To the sound of ringing hammers and roaring fires. +1 bonus to attack for all trainable units. Okay, so that's again those. And this is, I'm guessing, where all the melee troops are gonna come from. Conscripts, 6 to 11 damage. Footmen, that's what I have now. What is the difference? The conscripts have so much more hit points than the footmen. Really? And a higher armor class. Seriously? Wow, okay. Then we have spearmen. 11 to 18. Convicts. 8 to 14. Champions. 19 to 29, damn. And shield bearers. So champions I would love to have in the army. I'm guessing they're gonna be a lot less than like footmen. I might need to play around with this, like recruit a whole bunch of a specific type and then switch them in and out of the main army. Because if I have like 100 footmen and I get like 20 champions, obviously the score of the army is going down, so that's not what I want. And then we can build, yeah, okay, so this is similar to Pathfinder Kingmaker with all the squares. There is quite a lot that we can build in Drezen though, damn. And yeah, there is a lot here too, wow. I mean, this is, yeah, I love this, by the way, don't get me wrong, but this is going to be quite a feat to manage all that stuff. Plus, if you look at, like for example, an apothecary, 110 material points and 5 energy. So that's 1/5 of our material points. If we put like an alchemist laboratory, then we're not gonna be doing much. Oh no, oh that's finance. Okay, wait, 50. Okay. I'm looking at the wrong stat here. Still, like an arsenal, 225. Let's see. That's +1 bonus to armor class. Okay, but we have that. Yes, we have that in here. Is that why there is a ×1 there? I'm guessing that's the case. ×1 smithy? Yes. Okay, good. That is clear as well, learning the game as we go. So what does the alchemist laboratory do? +10 bonus to energy for all generals. I don't really have the sense that I need that at this moment. I've not ran out of energy with my general. Like, not even close, so... The apothecary is +10% bonus to hit points for all trainable units in adjacent buildings. Okay, so that's again one of those adjacency things. A citadel, when the enemy storms the outer walls of the fort, its defenders retreat to the citadel where they can maintain the defense for many days more. Citadel increases the time of the siege of the fort by 3 days. Only 1 citadel can be built in each fort. Yeah, so the siege part is not 100% clear to me yet. We'll see how that develops. An engineer's workshop. This is where educated engineers and architects make the necessary calculations so that construction projects progress quickly and on budget. Reduces the cost of building construction by 10%. Only 1 engineer's workshop can be built in total. That is actually quite beneficial, I would say. Especially at this moment, since we don't have a lot of material points and energy points coming in. Like reducing the cost by 10%, that's actually really nice. The Hall of Glory reduces the cost of recruiting mercenary units by 5%. 1 Hall of Glory can be built in each fort, and I'm guessing it stacks. That is useful, definitely. A Hall of Strategy. provides +1 bonus to attack and defense and a +2 bonus to power for all generals. Okay, yeah, that is fine. I'm guessing, like, I would hope that there is something like this, but then for mage generals, where it, although, yeah, no, power, I forgot the stat. Never mind. Let's see, a hospital provides +5% bonus to infirmary size for all generals. That might also be interesting. We haven't really run into problems yet, but I'm guessing the armies that we're gonna face are gonna become increasingly more dangerous. And so the damage that they're dealing is going to be increasingly higher as well. We have main stables. Oh, cool. The main stable allow recruitment of mounted scouts, paladins, cuirassiers, hedge knights, raiders, and light cavalry. I think this was one of the things that they want us to build. And then ideally, the smithy is +1 bonus to attack. And this is +1 armor class. Okay, so if we build the main stables, we would need to make a decision on where to place them, or we build another one. So if we would build the main stables here, for example, attached to the arsenal, then we could build another smithy here so that the main stable gets both the armor class and the attack, since it's possible to build the arsenal and the smith more than one in Drezen. Alright. Then we have a mercenary guild. Increases the number of available mercenary units by 1. Alright, that might prove useful. Military Academy provides a +1 bonus to attack and saving throw for all trainable units. Well, there you go. But that is like 400 material points. Damn. The Pathfinder Lodge provides +1 bonus to attack, armor class, and saving throws for all mercenary units. A Sanctuary increases energy point income by 4. Oh, here we go. Yeah, this is what we need. Like energy points up the wazoo. This is what we need. A shelter allows the commander's party to rest in the fort without increasing the effect of abyssal corruption. That is also going to be nice. A teleportation circle allows the commander's party to teleport to this fort from anywhere on the map. Yes, that is going to be built immediately. No questions asked. Teleportation circles are super useful. Then the training grounds provides a +10 bonus to damage for all trainable units in adjacent buildings. Okay, so this is another one that could be built multiple times. And it could be built like against the archery and against the main barracks. And then a watchtower provides all allied units within the fort's area of control a +1 bonus to attack, armor class, saving throws, and initiative. Okay, that's interesting too. So that is Drezen. Now we do have, is this another, let's see, this is something we can build, I'm guessing. On the Crusade Management screen, you can make decisions regarding current events, which are displayed at the bottom of the screen to the left. Issue decrees, which can be displayed by clicking the decree button on the right. You can display only a fraction of the available decrees by selecting one of the filters. And then construct buildings in forts and Drezen. Okay, yep, that was clear. So in the hamlet of Sork, nothing has been built yet. Do we have exactly the same? No, we have different ones. Let's see. Garrison archery range. The growth for the main archery range by 25%. Recruitment growth. Oh, wow. Yeah, that is cool. So we get more troops. Same for the barracks, and then same for the stables, I guess. So if we would build these 3 in all the forts, then recruitment is going to go up like enormously. Hospital we have. An inn increases finance points income by 200 if there are no buildings that provide recruitment growth in the fort. Finance points income by 200. Wait. Income. Oh wow, so we would go to 800 per day. That is massive, but then we cannot have these buildings. So we can either boost troop recruitment or we can boost our finance points. Okay, well, we can build supply centers here as well. So we could actually make one fort into like more of a supply location and then another fort into more of a recruitment booster. And then we have a watchtower as well. Okay, cool. And then I'm wondering, there should be more. And this one as well, I guess. Yes, okay. So no buildings have been built there. Can we also do that in Canabras? We can apparently not build in Canabras. Okay. What else do we have? We have Military Tribunal. What is that? Once a traitor, always a traitor. A lawbreaker is a criminal for life. Thus said the commander in the fight for the Lost Chapel. Then he ordered military tribunals to be organized within the army. Now that Drezen is free, the commander's advisors finally have the opportunity to carry out this order. Chance of skipping action due to negative morale reduced by 5%. Okay, yeah. We could do that at some point. The Fate of Soldier. Okay, so this is a bunch of relics that we found. That is an enormous amount. Look at that. 50 energy and 50 material. When we have only like 60 energy and we're gaining 2 per day. So yeah, the investigation of these relics, that's gonna take... it's gonna be on the back burner, I would say. The Phylactery of Stevanius the Rotten, we have Chilroar's Hide and Tusks, we have Unholy Symbol of Rovagug, and the Crest of the Fallen Knight. Right. And then we have some others. We can study the Sword of Valor. Okay, that's important, I would say. We can, let's see, appoint Irabeth to a squad. And then, what is this? Scouts cannot work out how the demon army picked their way through advanced units to be able to suddenly attack the Crusader forces. Recently, another suspicious incident took place. Some scouts did not return from their mission to explore the territory to the south of Drezen. More thorough reconnaissance of the region is needed. Probably the source of the demon apparition is in there somewhere. Okay. And then regions, what does that does nothing. We can finally see like gigantic size of the map, damn. There are 2 areas here which are not clear at the moment. And here we go to... oh yeah, to the army management. Okay, great. So let's take a quick look at that. So this... no, that's not our main army. Amplify resistance and party teleportation. Commanders party teleport to the target fort in which the teleportation circle is built. Okay. All units in the target army gain a bonus on saving throws. Okay. So we have 45 champions and... oh, look at these paladins. 97 hit points. Yeah, damn, I would like some paladins. I would like some paladins, but that's only 2 of them though. This is Crusader Army 3. This is our main army, which has the general. And then we have Crusader Army 1. Okay, so where is Crusader Army 3? Let us combine these armies together at very least. That's a whole bunch of extra troops. There we go. And we can put the mounted scouts into a different army, which is located where exactly? It's located here. Okay, so let's get that army a bit closer. And then I'm guessing... guessing they can reach. Yes, they should be able to. And then we can combine these troops. There we go. So that is that. I am of course going to take our main army out for a spin. Curious to see what we can do. So what do we have? We have our main army, which is the level 7 one, and we have demon armies here. This gives us energy points times 60. How does that calculate? Energy points times 60. I am very curious. So now we have 61 energy points and a +2 per day. Oh wait, let me first do something else. Is build a teleportation circle. Okay, that is just one thing, so we can just place that here. This is going to take 5 days. Okay, so at the very least we have that going. What is our morale like? Our morale is still high, that's good. So what I want to do with the main army is take down this one, if I can reach them somehow. Let us take a look where we can go. We can in fact go that direction. So we're gonna take down that level 4 army. Oh, that is Rift Rakes. Okay. So I'm wondering if I should be keeping the range, like ideally I want to replace all the archers by rangers, but as you can tell we have 250 archers and we have 5 rangers. So in fact, if I Scorching Ray one of these, I could possibly kill them. Yeah, exactly. That is 1, or at least 9 down the drain. Let's get these people going. Might kill a whole bunch of them. Get another shot. That is totally fine. Let us attack. And down they go. Good, so we took no losses. New morale banners. After capturing Drezen, the Crusaders raised the 3 morale banners on the city wall. The banner of victory stays green while you defeat demon armies. Each victory over a demon army in the lands of Yad, Grey Road, Lake Lost, To the Sun, and Winterson lands regions adds +6 days to the time the banner of victory stays green. The banner of conquest stays green while you capture demon forts. Oh wow, okay, so that is very specifically forts. And then the banner of defense remains green as long as none of your forts are under siege. Banners still affect the daily change of Crusader morale. A red banner decreases morale by 3 per day. Okay. Warriors have discovered what attracted such a horde of monsters, an impressive amulet laboratory belonging to some insane alchemist. The laboratory has been mercilessly plundered and the jars of elixirs and ingredients bore sinister holes through which the hideous creatures had consumed their content like some exquisite nectar. Luckily, some of the alchemist's inventory survived and now belongs to Crusaders. So 60 is that is 60 energy points, and that is not times 60, I'm guessing. Yes, exactly. So we spent some energy points building the teleportation circle, and then now we gained just 60. Okay. So we can move into a new area here. There is... oh yeah, from Keeper's Canyon there is places to go now as well. Alright, so let us check what happens if we go for these decrees. So let's see. You can only have one decree issued for each of the Crusade stats at any given time. Yep, we already discovered that. Each decree has a cost and a completion time. Some decrees can only be issued once, others have a repeat time, which is displayed in the decree description window. Your progress in Crusade Management unlocks certain special decrees. A stat rank up decree becomes available upon meeting specific rank up requirements. A relic upgrade decree, which turns a relic into a powerful artifact. Oh, that is... oh, okay. So if we study those, they become artifacts which our party can use. That is interesting as well. That's a neat mechanic. So what am I gonna do? So far, I cannot take the party anywhere, pretty much. If I go to the map, nope. How can I switch to the party? There used to be banners here that I could click. What happened to those, I wonder? I can also recruit. Let's see. Now you need your own infrastructure to hire trainable units. To recruit infantry units, build the main barracks. To recruit ranged units, build the main shooting range. To recruit cavalry units, build the main stables. Okay, so did we build the main stables? No, we did not build the main stables. We still need to build the main stables. Okay, good. Still have access to mercenary units. These arrive in Drezen every week. Okay, that is clear as well. If you're not satisfied with the mercenaries, yep, that we already know. Depending on the mythic path that you've chosen, you will gain access to decrees to recruit special mythic units to your cause. Oh, that is interesting. So we could easily recruit a bunch of more footmen and a bunch of more archers. Why am I recruiting them directly into an army? Is that because Crusader Army 4 is at Drezen? Probably. So if I move Crusader Army 4 out of Drezen and I try to recruit these guys. Yeah, okay. Clear. That is clear. So I might as well have just moved my main army back to Drezen in that case, but alright. Let us get you going back there. Get the footmen. There we go. I'm wondering actually, are they better? I'm wondering if they are better. Let me quickly... where is that new one? Okay. So let's group this one with the main army. Grab way more of these and way more of these. So we still have a level 7 army. What I'm wondering about is... are the Hell Knights 10 to 17 and 164 hit points? Yeah, that's not gonna be beaten by many. So the champions do more damage than the Hell Knights, but they have way less hit points. Yeah, in that case I prefer to keep the... the Hell Knights in the army. So we do need to build the stables, it was, I believe. Oh, look at that. So we can't even, because we have 300 material points only. We can buy material points, I would say. What do we need for the stables? 500. Okay, so if we would buy 200 material points, can we do that? Do we have 156,000 gold pieces right now? Seriously? Okay, so we're gonna... Let's see, we're gonna put the main stables. Armor class or bonus to attack. Let's put the stables here. That's 5 days. Okay. You see, this is what I mean when I said it's going to get complicated to keep everything sorted. So I'm gonna skip 1 day and have a look at what happens with these decrees. The Council of Officers, seasoned in the art of war. Yeah, so the council has been formed, I'm guessing. Yep, that is similar to Kingmaker. Alright. Then we have a new event. The quartermasters brought cats to Drezen so that they could keep the stores safe from rats. Smaller demons have learned to assume the form of a cat to sneak into the city and wreak havoc. Soldiers are ready to start hunting cats, but the quartermasters are against it. Oh boy. Let's see. So this gives logistics and takes away from leadership. This does the opposite. And this Blessing of Busted, what does that do? That gives diplomacy. And energy income increases by 1. Okay, yeah, this is what we're gonna do. Social, remembering the cult of Busted, poorly known in Vistan, send a few letters to Assyrian. Priestesses of the goddess of cats are willing to identify the demons and remain to care for the cats. Their knowledge of divine rituals will prove useful to the crusade. There you go. What a great solution, Calder. What a great solution. Okay, so we cannot do military tribunal because we don't have the resources. We can do the golems. Oh yeah, that's to get the earth elementals. Not quite sure if it's worth spending the 90 or the 60 energy points though. Not right now at least. Have we ranked up? Not yet. Okay, apparently something more needs to happen. Yes, so studying the Sword of Valor, this is a logistic one, it takes 14 days. I think this is incredibly important. So we are gonna issue that one. For the military, this is 7 days. Yep, we're gonna appoint Irabeth to a squad in the Vanguard. And I'm guessing I'm kind of ready to go back. Okay, there's a bunch of people in the throne room. Or, well, I mean, there's one person that just walked in. Okay. Let's not get dramatic, Ralph. Before you stands a tall, fit man whose dark hair is already tingled with gray. He greets you with a brisk military salute. My name is Captain Salkind. I command the Vanguard with a mercenary group called the Blackstone Company. We've come from Onderon to assist you. Okay, tell me some more about that unit. The Blackstone Company is proud to be recognized as one of the finest Onderon mercenary regiments. We are not a bunch of unscrupulous sellswords looking to oppress the innocent and serve the tyrants of the world. No. We're adventurers, eager to get involved in a dangerous enterprise and leave it with pockets full of gold. And a clear conscience. Which is why we held a vote amongst our units. We were glad to accept Queen Galfrey's invitation to join the Crusade. Though some of our commanders did voice their displeasure with the sum she offered. But like I said, we Andorans are a free people who cannot be pushed around and cannot be bought, only convinced. So why did you join then? Because we got paid. Yeah. Way to go, Silkind. Please do not think we're fighting for gold alone. Oh, here comes the explanation. We're true sons and daughters of Andran, so the ideals of equality and resisting enslavement ring true in our hearts. We will be glad to stand in the way of demons who seek to force mortal kind into bondage. The bulk of our company made camp in Nerosian, but the vanguard, consisting of our finest soldiers, if I may add, was put under your command. Well, rightfully so. Tell me more about yourself, Captain Silkind. Don't even know what to say. I'm a soldier, a bit of an explorer, just an all-around honest man. Okay, well, get to working for me then. I'm glad to be under your command. It will be an honor to serve you. If you have any questions, let me know. If you need to talk, I'd be happy to lend an ear. What is... Oh, that is our actor troupe. Good day, your commandership. It is we, the artistic board of the Next Door Theater. We're still working on our piece about your heroism. We have even taken on a few new crew members. We now have a master of stage equipment and scenery. It's my granddaughter, Tina. Tina, say hello to this commandership. We are faced with another dilemma. We simply can't decide on a climactic moment for the act that's all about the Battle of Drezen. Please listen to our options. Option 1, the commander, that's you, launches himself out of a catapult and smashes down the fortress wall, allowing the armies to rush inside. The commander masquerades as a succubus and creeps into Drezen in disguise, then opens the gate to the Crusaders. Or the commander rides to attack on an enormous mountain goat, should we call it a battering ram, and it breaks down the city gates. Well, I mean, first of all, I don't have time for this bullshit, but in order to humor them, I would love to see myself being launched out of a catapult. That does seem quite epic. Wonderful, wonderful. It's high time we injected some thrills into our show. Grandma Gretlin and her entourage move away, but their voices project so well that you can easily hear the rest of the conversation. The catapult was my favorite from the very start. I hope it's not considered too lowbrow a device for a serious dramatic offering. Did you forget that the role of the commander is being played by Cyclops? Or are we gonna launch Lambkin out of our catapult? Where are we gonna find a catapult that won't just break under its weight? Well, I mean, that's the challenges that I put to your task, you know? Calm yourself, Tina. It's just a minor snag. Can achieve success without a few difficulties along the way. Yeah, there you go. We'll think of something. I'm very curious to see if this is actually going to come to fruition, this stage performance. Captain Odan, Commander, it's an honor to call this first meeting of the Military Council to order. I'm Captain Odan, and I've been serving under your command ever since the assault on the Grey Garrison. I will do my best to be of as much use to you as possible in this role. Foundation of military is called calculation and discipline. These are the principles I will seek to impart to the Crusaders. If we are to win this war, we must forget about mercy for our enemies, for our troops, and for ourselves. Well, Commander, your sister Sela is no renowned general, but she spent half of her life tussling with evil. Looks like I'll be stepping up on behalf of all of Iomede's faithful here. I hope my advice will prove useful. The first issue on the Military Council's agenda is the reorganization of troops. Our infantry has been bled dry. The forces Her Majesty granted to us were enough to take Drezen, but we need more troops to hold it. Furthermore, the army was assembled in great haste after the assault on Canabras and was never adequately equipped. Unfortunately, we don't have much time for redeployment. Our scouts report that a powerful Baelor, Koramzadeh, is already preparing a retaliatory strike on Drezen, but we can rely on freshly conscripted Mendevian soldiers. They may not have the skill, but our strength, as always, lies in the number and the fervor of the volunteers joining the Crusades. We can't throw everyone into the meat grinder. We'll just get our youths killed for nothing. We need to select the best among our recruits and, even better, hold a contest. The bravest and the most capable will join the Crusaders. The death count is always highest in the infantry. Its purpose is to serve as a shield. It would be wise to invest our resources in hiring and training heavy footmen with shields to ensure maximum protection, even if it limits their mobility and makes them less threatening to the enemy. What does this military council do exactly? It determines the strength or the strategy for our troops, enacts army reform, approves new equipment standards, and makes decisions on all issues regarding military action on the front lines. Okay, so who is this Baelor? The most trusted servant of the demon lord Discari. Among the historians of the Mendevian Crusades, he's known as a strategist of the World Wound. He's not as renowned as Minago, the conqueror of Drezen, or a Hepsimira, daughter of Baphomet, but he has claimed the most major victories over the forces of Mendev. He's a general and quite possibly one of the best tacticians in the entire Abyss. That is, except for me. I've been studying his style of warfare for years. He may seem like an ordinary demon, another typical war taskmaster, but that's a fallacy. Like a beast following a scent, he senses weaknesses in his enemy's defenses and strikes at them, sending soldiers to bring targeted carnage. His uncanny charisma attracts more and more soldiers to him, so he's never short on troops and sacrifices them like pawns wherever he pleases in order to achieve his victories. Karamzada is the face of the demon host. For many years I've been gathering research on him, preparing for the day our armies would clash with him once more. I hope my council will help you defeat him, but so far Karamzadeh has known no defeats. Okay, so... Sela, have you ever commanded an army before? Not on a scale like this, but I've fought evil and I know its tricks. Besides, war makes people callous, and it's always useful to have a paladin advisor around to remind you at a crucial moment what we're actually fighting for, right? Okay, Regill, why do you want to sit on this council? I have command experience and I intend to impart to the Crusaders at least a modicum of the discipline and rigidity of the Hell Knights. The quality of the Mendevian staff currently available to you leaves much to be desired, that much is certain. And Captain Odan has served on the front lines of the Mendevian army for over 25 years and in that time has gained a wealth of combat experience. Considered one of the foremost experts on tactics and strategy in Queen Galfrey's officer corps. Okay, well, you'll be handy. I spent my whole life studying the craft of warfare and I'm familiar with the thoughts of all prominent military leaders of the last 5 centuries. Furthermore, I wholeheartedly believe in the tradition of Mendev's military art. Will gladly share my knowledge with you. So, let's see, do we really need only the bravest and the most capable Sela? I mean, we can't send untrained rookies to the slaughter. We have the right to command only those who are ready for battle. Those who can defeat the enemy. We must find out who has the skill and the guts. Contests are perfect for that. And a little excitement for our warriors couldn't hurt either. We won't get that many winners, but their strength will come from their prowess, not their numbers. Your proposal would leave us with an infantry full of selfish risk-takers dreaming of glory and valor. That is bad material for a soldier. The infantry's role is to be a shield for the archers and mages. To be fair, that's how I've been using them. All they've required to do is follow orders and hold the line until victory or death. Ambitious loners cherry-picked through contests of skill are not fit to perform this duty. Why insist on shield bearers then? So the infantry is a meat shield intended to catch the blade of the opposing army in its flesh. The shield must be reliable, and that is all that is required of it. That's why I would like to see well-armored shield bearers as our foot soldiers. We must have the option of pitting ranks of footmen against a tide of rampaging demons, knowing with certainty that they will not scatter or die until they have completed their task. And Captain Odan wants to recruit from Mendev, institute a draft and try to amass as many new soldiers from Mendev and other lands if we can. We've always drawn our strength from our zeal and our determination to oppose evil. If we start holding contests, our selections will turn a holy crusade into a job for a chosen few, scare away future volunteers. If we try changing our tried and true tactics, we'll lose valuable time, and our army is in need of fresh blood right now. So, let's see. The main barracks provides weekly recruitment growth for champions. All footmen are promoted to champions. Oh wow, wait a minute. So all of our footmen would go 42 hit points to what exactly? 26 hit points. Well, they would do a lot more damage though. 6 to 11 to 19 to 29. Let's see, armor class. Armor class goes down. Whew, not 100% about this. The shield bearers, 164 hit points. 21 armor class. They do 5 to 10 damage, so they do a little bit less damage. But yeah, they're really a meat shield. Damn. And higher armor class. I am... What does that do? Conscripts. Let's see. Conscripts is somewhere in between the two, I guess. 6 to 11. Or the damage output is the same. It's just more hit points and a little bit more armor class. Well, I am honestly thinking we should just... Like, I want to do as much damage as possible with my archers and with my general. And in order for us to be able to do that, we just need a lot of hit points to take the blows, basically. So I'm kind of in favor of this tight formation of shield bearers. That would mean that in our main army we're gonna get like a gigantic amount of them. So let's do this. I will monitor the recruiters' work and the preparation for all of the necessary equipment. Thank you for your time, Commander. When the reforms are finished and the ranks of our infantry are replenished, I will assemble the military council to discuss new decisions. So I'm wondering if that is instantly or not. Let's see, Lady Konomi, a sharp-looking kitsune, gives you a quick business-like bow. Commander, the matter before us are urgent. Let's not stand on ceremony. I'm Lady Konomi, the official attaché of Nerosian. Here are my credentials. Her Majesty has instructed me to lead your headquarters diplomatic council. Okay, so we're gonna get all the councils going now. Honestly, I was surprised when Lady Konomi asked me to join this council, but I will do my best to fill the shoes of a trained diplomat. Yeah, strange, I got invited to the council too. I'm sure foreign ambassadors will be thrilled to see my face and my manners. Lady Konomi, you haven't mistaken me for some other crusader Lan, have you? I, like many nobles, have been trained in diplomacy, and in fact I hold the title of Royal Emissary. It's passed down the Arendelle line. I must say that prior to this day I employed my diplomatic skills solely to undermine Mendev's international reputation. It is time to break that habit. I imagine preventing international scandals will be just as interesting as causing them. Who knows, I might even enjoy it. Okay, so what is this council? The Crusade is more than just battles and sieges. It is the largest military project in all of Aviston, funded by the treasuries of more than a dozen major powers, and each one of those powers, in addition to seeking victory over the demons, also pursues its own goals. The Diplomatic Council will manage this tangle of political interests and prevent the Crusade from losing the favor of influential benefactors. While we're at it, ensure that Nerosian remains satisfied with the state of affairs. After all, for the last 100 years, the entirety of Mendevian politics has revolved around the Crusades in some shape or form. That is why the capital has sent me here to observe, offer suggestions, and keep the diplomatic situation under control. What is this Royal Council? The Royal Council, operating under Her Majesty, is the highest governing body in Mendev and comprises her most able and trusted servants. It's responsible for day-to-day matters of state. They are the hands and the voice of the Queen. The council has gathered people from all walks of life. Some of them are nobles, but many more are citizens of humble origins who earned their positions through their wit. Many are rich, but a fair number of them are of a more humble means. Some are pious and pure of heart, like Lord Inquisitor Kasori and Captain Jasper of the Crusader Heralds. Others are more flexible and ambitious, but each of them faithfully serves Mendev's cause. So you have been sent to keep an eye on me. Whatever gave you that ID, Commander? I'm not an overseer, I'm your loyal advisor. I do not intend to meddle in the way you run things, just consult with you in cases where the price of error is too high. Put your trust in me and we'll get along swimmingly. After all, none of us here want to see Kaliax and Daruma at each other's throat, trying to settle their dispute by using their influence on us as political leverage. Am I wrong? And I doubt you would like it if we made enemies in the ranks of Nerosian nobility, who would attempt to undermine your war effort. This won't happen as long as you trust my experience. So, social. Have you ever had to deal with diplomatic concerns? That won't be a problem in my homeland, Tianxia. Inviting clerics and paladins of Shaelin, the Lady of Chrysanthemums, to take part in diplomatic missions is a common practice. They may not be politicians, but they are perceptive, advocate peace, and favor balanced solutions. I'm flattered by the respect that the worshippers of my goddess receive in Lady Konomi's homeland. Won't let you down, Koldar. I'll make every effort to prevent our friends from becoming our enemies. Why is Darren here? Because of Count Arenday's influence. He's a Mendevian aristocrat. The nobility will be inclined to listen to his opinion. I am not 100% convinced of that part. I think the Mendevian aristocrats are all too happy to get rid of him. In any case, by ensuring the support of the nobles, we'll find ourselves powerful allies. Oh, believe me, Lady Konomi, I will exert all my effort and influence to make the council's job exciting. What is Lan doing here? We diplomats call this little trick Mysterious Garundi Prince. During negotiations, it's always useful to have on your side a representative of some obscure but potentially populous and powerful nation. Without knowing what they're up against and how many mongrels there are, our diplomatic partners will have to contend with this dark horse. So Mr. Lan, I'm guessing this is the first time that Lan was called Mr. You will be our mongrel prince. If we're negotiating with foreign ambassadors and I make this sign, you immediately start talking about how offensive their proposition is to the mongrel people. Do we have a deal? I suspected that the word diplomat was synonymous with fraud, but I thought you would be deceiving me, not deceiving others with my help. No, that's not an option. I can represent the mongrels in negotiations, but I'm not going to lie through my teeth. And Lady Konomi is, is from Tianxia, from the noble Kitsune. Like any Kitsune, I have always been curious to a fault, and my adventures brought me to Avistan. And here in your lands, I met my first and true love, politics. I've served as a diplomat in the courts of 6 different sovereigns. Working for Her Majesty turned out to be the most interesting of all. Such riveting webs of intrigues and interest are spun around the Crusade and the World Wound. The agenda! Not everyone in Nerosian is pleased with your progress. Some believe that, to use their words, you are out of control and fancy yourself an independent leader. It wouldn't surprise me if you encountered supply disruptions in the near future. I would suggest quelling their anger. Show the capital that you haven't forgotten about the chain of command. For example, you could hold a parade in honor of Her Majesty. If we need to demonstrate that we're keeping Nerosian in mind, why don't we invite the capital's high priest to Drezen for a religious festival? It'll be appropriate, and the church's support will shield us from the accusations of schemers. Pander to the naysayers? I think not. I propose we hold a parade in your honor, Koldar. This is our victory, and if Cousin Galfrey wants to show off in front of the soldiers, she's welcome to capture something of her own. Yes. Are they out of their minds? We've got a whole Drezen full of soldiers who need medicine, food, weapons. Until everyone has been taken care of, we can't waste a single coin on pointless celebrations. So what did I do to incur Nerosian's discontent? I was too good. Well, you know, I'm not gonna say that about myself, but I kinda was, wasn't I? You reclaimed Canabras, you won the Battle of Drezen, you're a menace to the World Wound. Your authority grows, and your influence of the Queen's confidence diminishes. This creates the impression that there is only enough space for you at the top. The members of the Royal Council are afraid that you will muscle them out of their political arena. After all, if you're doing so well, maybe your majesty doesn't need them that much. Therefore, they might try to discredit you, impede your war efforts, reduce the scale of your victories, make some concessions, and they'll see that you're open to negotiations. I mean, do they need to get smacked in the head? Like, we're fighting demons, and they're gonna squabble over whether I become too powerful? Come on. Let's see, what do we have? So the opinions... I think it's gonna take a bit long if I'm gonna read all of that. Religious Feast. Energy points income increased by 20% and finance points income reduced by 10% for 30 days. Then, Commander's Parade. The cost of recruiting mercenaries is reduced by 7.5%. That's very specific. Material points reduced by 25%. Yeah, that's not what we're gonna do. Lawn. Let's see. Crusader morale increased by 10 or by 20 if Crusader morale is below 0. That gives us... Oh, that costs us 2,500 finance points. And then hold a parade. For the Queen, finance points income is increased by 10% for their days. So this is the only one actually that only has positive effects, right? Let's just do this. Let's just get the Queen her parade. Glad you have listened to my proposal. Making friends in the Royal Council will go a long way. It's good that we've got off on the right foot, Commander. There will be plenty more issues requiring your decision soon. I do not doubt that we will handle them just as expediently. Captain Harmaton, hail, Commander. Before you, an aged yet fit and sturdy Garundi stands at attention. His dark skin has an earthly tone to it, and crystals sparkle forth from where his hair and eyebrows should be, clearly identifying him as an Oread. Captain Harmaton, chair of your staff council by order of Her Majesty Queen Galfrey, here to deliver a report. I'm on this council too, says Sela. We'll be wrecking our brains on how to improve troop morale. I reckon the key is to back up our words with actions. Lead your soldiers by example and they'll be eager to follow. Drawing on my experience as a paralictor, my advice is to maintain calculated moderation in every regard, be it in incentive or in penalty, and to be decisive. We have no need for doubts or turmoil. I'm doomed to be your advisor, but you do know what that means. That you are doomed to listen to my advice. To start things off, here's an incredibly novel and deep thought for you. Loyalty, passion, and morale. All of these can easily be bought with money. Commander, permission to report. We've encountered a problem. Although we're still getting volunteers, we're now seeing cases of desertion. Many who joined the Drezen campaign believe that their duty has been fulfilled with the victory. They're not keen on staying in the garrison. Those from Canabras wish to return home and rebuild their ruined city. Lastly, there are those who are afraid of lingering in a place where demons might show up with a retaliatory expedition at any moment. My suggestion is to improve living conditions for the privates. raise their pay, give them extra rations, and reward those who have distinguished themselves on the battlefield with commendations and gifts. Soldiers don't want to leave armies that appreciate them. I feel for those folks, but we have to convince them to stay. Think we might get some help from the servants of the gods? They'll tell the soldiers that the danger has not yet passed and inspire them to keep up the fight against evil. As long as the wound is open, the whole world is in danger. We can't just go home and live like we used to, no matter how badly we want that to happen. Most of the Crusaders are volunteers, but they have no right to subvert military discipline. That kind of attitude is tantamount to treason, regardless of who expresses it. We have to identify the instigators, arrest them, and administer harsh punishment to make an example. The problem is quite simply solved with coin, but handing money out to privates is practically throwing it away. We need to pay the officers handsomely, and they'll figure out how to raise their subordinates' morale. So, glory to the heroes. Crusader morale is increased, but our morale is currently at max, so that's not really what I want. Crusader morale is increased, recruitment growth is increased, and the cost of recruiting mercenary units will increase by 10%. Okay, so our regular units is reduced by 10% and mercenary units increased by 10%. That is morale increased again. And that is morale increased again. Yeah, so this one doesn't cost me anything. So how about we just do this and just increase morale. And that's it. Fate has always helped me in my darkest hours, and it will help our soldiers too. We just need to talk to them from the heart. Thank you, Commander. Should any other difficulties arise that require your attention, I'll deliver a new report promptly. Dorgalinda Stranglehold, damn. Hail, Commander, a middle-aged dwarf who has clearly seen some combat salutes you with barely moving bone-dry hands. On her face are huge scarred claw marks, a black eye patch covers one eye. She's watching you with the other, intent and somber. Chair of the Logistics Council at your service. We got ourselves an ugly situation that requires a decision. Hopefully this council will benefit from my vast experience surviving with gear that consists of rocks and sticks, and where any dinner that is not squirming on your plate is considered a feast. All in all, kind of like our crusade. I won't lie to you, our logistics is a mess. We need more of everything, and what we do have is in disarray. Crates of provisions are rotting away in storehouses because some idiot quartermaster spilled beer on the papers. Fools are not the worst problem, there's also theft. Some officers grease palms to get a helmet with stylish plumage and fancy blade from Nerosian. Meanwhile, that means that ordinary soldiers are being armed with barely more than a kitchen knife. Hammer and tongs. It's time to give the entire logistics staff the bum's rush. Question is, where do we find capable and honest people to replace them? Let's get some veterans on the job, people who have had their fill of the front lines and who know firsthand what life is like for a common soldier, what the rations taste like, and how the boots are always the wrong size. My suggestion is to call some experienced, well-connected supply officers from Nerosian, let them leave their cushy jobs in Mendev and work up a sweat for the good of the crusade. Only the essentials. Unit has a plus 10% bonus to maximum HP. All mercenary units gain... Okay, so mercenary units plus 1 bonus to attack and saving throws, and this is the trainable units. I would say giving the trainable units plus 10% HP sounds quite good. New quartermasters will be veterans. They won't do their comrades wrong, they'll see what they always fed, healthy and warm. That is decided. No matter what our new quartermares are like, there is no possible way they can be worse than what we have now. The result will be reported to you, and if anything else comes up, I'll call the council right away. Okay, damn, that was quite an introduction to the affairs of the state. I'm gonna put an end in the video right here. If you're enjoying the content, hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to continue to check out my coverage of Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. Thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you in the next video.